A storm is brewing in the world of virtual reality. For years, Meta has virtually dominated the market with its Quest platform. But that's all changing now. Google, the giant behind Android, is officially entering the stage with Android XR. This isn't just a battle for new headsets. It's a battle for the very soul of VR and mixed reality. It's about the software that powers everything, the ecosystem where we'll move, play and work. We are facing a fundamental fork in the road. Meta's established but controlled Horizon OS versus Google's open but still unproven Android XR approach. What does this mean for us, the users? Better games? Cheaper headsets? And who will ultimately write the rules for the metaverse of the future? In this video, I'm going to analyze for you what I, as a long-time observer of the Meta ecosystem, really expect from this clash of the titans. My name is Thomas and you're watching VoodooDE VR. Let's have some fun with the video and let's go.
VoodooDE.
Let's begin with the king of the hill, Meta Horizon OS. This is the operating system that runs on every Meta Quest. Until now, it has been a closed system similar to what Apple does with the iOS on the iPhone. This is often called a walled garden. What does that mean? Meta controls everything, the hardware, the software, and especially the App Store. For us users, this has its pros and cons. The advantage: everything works together seamlessly. The quality standards in the official store are high and it's incredibly user-friendly. The disadvantage: less choice and higher prices, as Meta takes a cut of every sale and developers usually have to go through a strict approval process. However, Meta recently made a surprising announcement. They are opening up Horizon OS to third-party manufacturers like Asus and Lenovo. They want to become the standard platform for VR, basically the Windows of VR. This is a clever move to get their software onto as many devices as possible before Google really gets going. So, Meta's strength is clear. A huge established library of fantastic VR games, a massive user base and years of experience. And now for the challenger, Google Android XR. Google has experimented in the VR space before with Daydream and Cardboard, and even with the Google glasses. You know the smart glasses, it's really crazy. But then they pulled back. Now they are coming back with full force. Their strategy is the exact opposite of Meta's original approach. Instead of focusing on their own hardware, Google is providing the operating system, Android XR, and letting partners like Samsung build the headsets. We know this model from the smartphone market. One operating system for hundreds of different devices. Google's greatest asset is the gigantic Android ecosystem. Just imagine, millions of 2D apps from the Google Play Store could potentially run seamlessly in VR and mixed reality. This is a huge advantage, especially for productivity applications. You could use your Gmail, Google Docs or YouTube as floating windows in your living room without developers having to build entirely new apps for it, because it's already there. Millions of apps. The big question will be, how good will the pure VR and mixed reality experiences be? Google needs to convince developers to create compelling native XR games and applications to catch up to Meta's head start. The integration of AI like Gemini could be important for innovative control concepts. So let's put the two competitors head to head. Point 1, openness. This is a clear win for Android XR. The system is designed from the ground up as an open platform for many manufacturers. While Meta is opening up, Horizon OS will likely always run best on its own Quest hardware. Meta's opening feels more like a reaction to Google, not a core philosophy. And point number 2 is app stores and content. Here, Meta is miles ahead. The Meta Horizon store is packed with high-profile exclusive titles and has grown over many years. Google is starting from scratch and will need to lure developers with incentives. However, with the Play Store, Google has the potential to immediately close the gap when it comes to 2D and productivity apps. Point number 3, exclusive titles. Meta has acquired studios like Beat Games, they made Beat Saber, and also Sansaro Games, they made, for example, Asgard's Wrath, and these games are system sellers. And I'm pretty sure they won't be appearing on other platforms in the short to medium term. Google will have to dig deep into its pockets to land similar exclusive deals. Perhaps we'll see a Halo for Android XR? Point number 4, productivity. This could be Google's killer feature. The seamless integration of the existing Android app ecosystem is a gigantic advantage for work and daily life. Meta is trying to catch up with partnerships like, for example, Microsoft Office or so, but it feels still a bit tagged on. Productivity is Google's DNA, right? Of course, in this duel, we can't forget the elephant in the room, Apple with Vision OS. But Apple, as usually, is playing in a league of its own. With an extremely high price point and a focus on a perfect but also extremely closed ecosystem, they are targeting a premium segment. Right now, Apple isn't a direct competitor for the mass market headsets from Meta or the upcoming Android XR devices. Rather, they are technically pacemaker, I would say. They show what's possible at the high end, and in doing so, they indirectly push Meta and Google to improve their own ecosystems. Vision OS is the expensive supercar, while Meta and Google are basically fighting for the reliable everyday car market. So what does all of this mean for us, the VR users? In my opinion, there won't be a single clear winner, and that's a good thing. We are moving away from a monopoly towards healthy competition similar to smartphones with iOS and Android, or game consoles, for example, PlayStations and Xbox. I don't expect a revolution overnight. Meta will remain the best platform for pure VR gaming, at least in the near future. Their lead in content is just too big in my opinion. But Google and its partners will tackle the market from a different angle, with cheaper and more diverse devices and a strong focus on mixed reality and everyday productivity. A Samsung headset could be very interesting for people who don't just want to play games, but also want to work and consume media. But guys, you know, the Samsung Wuhan headset that will come out in October 2025 is just the beginning. It will not be for beginners. It's just like very expensive and only for developers likely. So it's coming later, right? But we also can't forget that Google has caught up so quickly in other areas that it's now better than the competition. A good example is the Google AI Gemini, which is now even more powerful than the former frontrunner ChatGPT. Let's see if they can take on Meta just as quickly with Android XR. In the medium term, both systems will definitely start to look more similar. Meta will have to become more open and expand its productivity features. Google will have to invest heavily in exclusive games. So the key message is competition is good for business, right? I always say this. You can watch my weekly news videos. I always say Meta needs a competitor. And perhaps this will be Google. So this battle will lead to more innovation, better prices and a greater variety of devices and applications. For us as a community, Google's entry is the best thing that could have happened. We will have more choices than ever before. It will no longer be a question of if you should buy a VR headset, but which ecosystem fits you best. Yeah, but that's just my analysis. What do you guys think? Are you on Team Horizon OS or are you giving Android XR a chance? What feature is most important to you? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really excited to see the discussion. And if you enjoyed my analysis and want to see more content like this from the world of VR and mixed reality, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell. Thank you for watching and see you next time in virtual reality. See ya!
VoodooDE